left side. Drew with the windup, the pitch. Missed, I guess, outside for ball one. Had a brief rain shower, cool things off a little bit for one thing. 1 ball, no strikes count. Ground ball towards the second baseman. Alley scoops it up, throws over in time for the out. It's a 4-3 put out, and there are 2 gone. The runner does advance to third base, though. And that'll bring the number 5 hitter in the lineup, the second baseman, Caitlin LaSala. She bats with 2 outs and a runner at third. 1 run already in for South Warren. LaSala bats from the right side. Nice play by Allie Pendleton. Wind up, the pitch. Change up, misses outside for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. LaSala back in the box as Drew comes back to the rubber. Has the sign and the pitch. Strike on the inside corner at the knees. Nice pitch. And it evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. The Lady Wildcats participating, if the rain will allow them, in the Greenwood border battle tomorrow. Missed low and away or low and inside for ball 2. It's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner at third base for the Spartans. Missed low and away for ball 3, and it's 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count. Need a strike here from Drew. Ground ball foul down the third base line, and it count goes full. Second batter that Drew has taken to a full count. Boys, while I was at Louisville the other day, yesterday, I kept looking to audition either for Western or Louisville to do some radio, and nobody was having any of that. Yeah. I think maybe they do know what they're missing. 3-2 count to LaSala. Drew with the payoff. Missed out. Oh, strike 3 on the outside corner. And Knight gets out of it with only 1 run in. So for the Lady Spartans in the first, 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors. There was 1 left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the first. The Lady Spartans lead it 1-0. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
All right.
2, please.
Okay. All right, coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back. As Lady Wildcats come to the plate, it'll be Allie Pendleton, Madison Davis, and Jessie Beller lead things off. Lady Cats down 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning.
Leading off for the Lady Cats, number 4, Allie Pendleton.
As the catcher returns to the behind the plate, and Terry Pendleton, Baldwin gets everything set. Allie stands in now to face Carson Williams in the circle for the Lady Spartans. Wind up, first pitch, in there for a strike about waist high right down the center of the plate. 0-1 the count to Allie. Williams, left-hander, fouled off into the screen, and the count's 0-2 to Pendleton. No balls, 2 strikes the count. Williams doesn't waste a lot of time. She gets the sign from the catcher and the pitch. Ground ball toward the first baseman. Up with it, steps on the bag. A 3 unassisted, and there's one gone for the Lady Cats here in the bottom of the first inning. Madison Davis, the left fielder, comes to the plate now with one out and nobody on. First pitch is low for ball one. Madison batting from the right side, waits the pitch, high for ball two. 2-0 the count now to Madison. One out, nobody on for the Lady Cats. Williams winds and the 2-0 pitch. Missed high for ball three. It's 3-0. The 3-0 pitch coming from Williams. In there for a strike on the outside corner. Madison taking all the way. It's 3-1 now. Three one pitch. Fly ball towards right field. It's going to come down foul, but the right fielder comes over, makes a nice catch. And Madison fouls out to the right fielder for the second out of the inning. That'll bring Jesse Beller, the center fielder, to the plate.
Number 3, Jesse Beller.
Beller bats with 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch to Jess. High for ball one. 1-0 the count. Nice crowd here after the little rain shower. Here's the pitch. Drops that change up in there for a strike, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck is Mackenzie Webb. Fouled back out of play, and the count moves to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on for the Wildcats. Bottom of the first inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Beller goes down swinging for the third out for the Lady Wildcats. 3 up and 3 down. We'll go to the top of the second. Lady Spartans leading it 1-0 over our Lady Wildcats. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
All right.
2, please. Oh, okay. Well, that's the second thing I disagree with, and I disagree with this armband thing. And Emmy has a career .457 batting average hitting the first pitch, and she's still. I mean, she's not batting .457 down there, but she's still hitting. Yeah. Yep. But that's why I'm up here and they're down there, boys. They know more than I do. Maybe. Man, they turned that over fast. Jackson, we
All right,
may.
coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Madison Stumbo, the third baseman, looks at the first pitch in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. They turn that in and over quick. There's a shot right at Lizzie. She knocks it down, picks it up, throws, and beats it out. So a runner at first base. That is the first error on the Lady Wildcats. And we'll bring to the plate Alex Helderman, the second baseman. Pitches in low and for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Nobody out, runner at first base. One ball, no strikes the count. Squares to bunt, misses inside for ball 2, and it's 2-0. Nice movement by the Lady Wildcats on that square. Drew having a little bit of trouble holding on to the ball. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody out. Runner at first base. Watch the runner going. Here's the pitch. Foul down the third base line for strike one, and it's 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch. Hitter. Dead ball hit by a pitch. Runner goes to second. Helderman goes to first, and that brings Bailey Collins, the center fielder, up. First batter hit by a pitch. Collins bats with runners at first and second and nobody out. Strike on the outside corner. Nice pitch from Drew, and it's 0-1. Ahead in the count now. With the windup, the 0-1 squares the bunt on the changeup, bunts it foul down the third base line, and it's 0-2. Don't know if she did that on her own or if that was a sign. No balls, 2 strikes the count. Drew winds the pitch. Ground ball foul down the first base line. Ricochets off the dugout. And the count remains 0-2. 0-2 with nobody out and 2 runners on. Lady Spartans lead it 1-0 here in the top of the second inning. Wind up in the pitch, high and outside for ball 1, and it's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes as Drew checks the armband, has the number and the pitch. Fly ball right field, going to be foul, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Crowd still coming in. We're going to have a full house here before it's all over. Can't categorize South Warren High School as a new school anymore, but I'll tell you, they developed a following quick. Fly ball foul, going to be out of play, I believe. Yep, down the left field line. They developed a following of, it doesn't matter what the sport is, they bring a crowd everywhere they go. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out, runners at first and second. At the plate is Bailey Collins, the center fielder. She bats in the 8 hole. Pitch is low for ball 2. It's 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Shot, foul down the third base line. I'll tell you one thing that you notice, guys, about South Warren, everybody that hits the ball hits it hard. There's no loopers and no little slow rollers. Retrieving foul balls and almost hit the batter with the ball coming in from the field. Now the set to go. Count is 2-2 to Collins. And the pitch. Pitch is low, gets away from the catcher. Runners are going to advance. So now runners in scoring positions on the wild pitch. And Collins with a full count. Third batter we've gone full on in the ball game. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2 pitch, high for ball 4. And the bases are jammed with Lady Spartans. That's the first walk given up by Knight. Stumbo down at third, Helderman at second, and Collins at first for the number 9 hitter, Katie Conley, the right fielder. Infield is in. Try to get the force play at the plate. Double play would be nice. First pitch. In there for a strike outside corner. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, the count. Drew comes back to the rubber, looks in, the pitch. Fouled back to us. Oh, and the count is 0-2. A strikeout would certainly help things right here, as we will go to the top of the order after this. Bases loaded. Here's a 0-2 pitch. Bounced it up, and it's 1-2. One ball, two strikes the count. 1-2 pitch, fouled back to the left side. Count remains 1-2. Jammed her on that one, and actually Conley bailed her out because that was a ball all the way up in her eyes and inside. Taking a little bit of time between pitches because they're trying to keep the balls mud free and dry, and that's going to be a chore this afternoon. 1-2 pitch once again, foul ball back into the stands. Oh, an error on the fans on the upper bench. Had it in his hand, dropped it. It's like that guy I saw in a ball game the other night. They didn't call it a home run, and it looked like it was a home run to me, but the guy had the ball in his glove in left field, and it popped out of his glove, and they said that it was not a home run. They gave him a ground rule double. The commentators and I all thought it was a home run. Count is 1-2 here to Katie Conley. Fly ball, left field, left fielder coming hard, makes a basket catch, and runner's not able to advance. Madison Davis with a catch. That helps a little bit. There's one gone now with the bases loaded. And we get to the top of the order, and Alexis Isabel, she singled her last time up, was forced out at second on a fielder's choice off the bat of Lauren Martin. Isabel waits as Drew winds in the pitch. Nice block by Tuck. 1-0 the count. This ball was in the dirt. One ball, no strikes, bases loaded, nobody in yet. Strike on the inside corner at the knees, and the count evens at 1-1. Infield back at regular depth now. Tuck sets up on the outside corner, pitch low for ball two. It's 2-1. Two balls, one strike the count. And the pitch. Shot into left field, line drive caught, and the throw comes to the plate. And on the tag, the runner will score, but Madison Davis with another nice play. So I guess you'd score that a sacrifice fly and give the RBI to Isabel. There are two gone now. The other two runners had to stay put. So runners at first and second for Lauren Martin, the catcher, who reached on a fielder's choice, stole the base, and scored the first run of the ball game. Tell you, if the Lady Cats can get out of this with one run, it will be a great job. Had the bases loaded and no outs. Over the catcher's head, and the runners are going to advance on the wild pitch. I believe that one slipped out of Drew's hand. Second wild pitch of the inning, one ball, no strikes the count to Martin. And the pitch in there for a strike on the outside corner. Count even now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners at second and third. Drew with the pitch. Fly ball. It's going to be a foul ball down the right side, out of play, and the count moves to 1-2. Runners, of course, going with 2 outs. Be a really nice place for a strikeout here, Drew. And the 1-2. Bounced up, and it's 2-2. Ball's slipping out of her hands. That's about the fourth one that's hit in front of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Fouled out of play, and it's still 2-2. This is where I would normally say deuces are wild. They're even wilder with 2 on. Drew has the sign and the 2-2 pitch. Foul down the first base line, and that one only by a foot or less. Two balls and 2 strikes. Make a pitch here, make a play. That's what we need right now. Lady Cats down by 2 here in the top of the second inning. Martin really having an extended bat time. Strike 3 called. Got her on a pitch at the knees for the 3rd out. And I'm going to tell you, that was a good job by Drew Knight to get out of that one with no more damage. 1 run on no hits, actually. There was 1 error. There was 1 hit batsman. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning. The Lady Wildcats trailing 2-0. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
All right.
2, please. I'm sorry.
You're good.
The guy in the red shirt? Terry doesn't. Hey, Jackson, did I ever answer you?
Yeah, you said 2.
Oh, okay. All right.
Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, a little excitement at the old ballpark. A South Warren fan has been ejected from the game, and he hadn't gone far enough to suit the umpire, so Simpson County's finest sheriff, Jerry D. Hobson, will go down and escort him the rest of the way out. It's always handy to have the sheriff around, guys. Unless, of course, he's after us. Mackenzie Webb will step to the plate here to lead things off in the bottom of the second. Mackenzie bats in the 4 spot. McKinley, I'm sorry. And it's fouled off to the right, out of play. I only went through a whole season with her. McKinley has been hurt, and she has gotten back into the lineup since the 25th of March, when the last time I saw him play. Got a big brace on that left knee. McKinley stands in now with an 0-1 count as Williams delivers. Strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Fly ball on the infield. Second baseman drifts over, makes the play. And Webb is out on a pop fly to the 4 spot for the first out, and that'll bring Lizzie Weems to the plate. Lizzie picked up her second home run of the season the other night. Lizzie bats with 1 out, nobody on. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. And the man in the red shirt is still giving some conversation to the sheriff, but he's out of the park now, so Lizzie fouls 1 back, and the count is 0-2. He may be asking for his money back. He didn't get to see much of the ball game. There's a ground ball foul down the third baseline, and the count remains 0-2. That's one thing about Terry Baldwin. He will not put up with a lot. He'll put up with a lot from coaches, but he won't put up with a lot from fans. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Weems goes down swinging. Second out of the inning, second strikeout of the ball game. And that brings Drew Knight, the pitcher, to the plate. Yeah. Pitches, misses high for ball one. Well, I'll tell you, he's an awfully good umpire, and I don't even, that was in there for a strike. I don't recall the pitch. I don't recall whether I thought it was a good or a bad call, but there are ways to have fun at the ballpark with the umpires without getting yourself thrown out. Fly ball, second baseman comes charging in. Shortstop comes across in front of her and makes the catch. And a pop fly to the sixth spot for the third out. The Lady Wildcats go 1-2-3 for the second straight inning. We've played two complete. Lady Cats down 2-0 to South Warren. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
All right.
2, please. What's that guy going to do? Walk all the way back to South Warren? Yeah. He can't see anything from out there. Yeah. No, you don't. I guess he's trying to find him a spot where he can
5,
see.
4, 3, 2, 1.
As we go to the top of the third inning, it'll be the 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Lady Spartans. And the first hitter today for the Lady Spartans is Madeline Doherty. She is the designated player. She doubled her last time up. Drew with the first pitch to her. In there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Well, I have to tell y'all, I got asked to leave a ball game one time in Lexington. Just missed outside for ball one. The count evens at 1-1. Huh? It does happen, yes. It's the only time, with all that I've ever said, that was the only time I was asked to leave early. 1-1 pitch. And it's in there for strike 2. 1-2 the count now to Doherty. Drew has the number and the pitch. Ground ball towards the shortstop. Up with it. Long throw over. Nice job. Katie Henderson gets the out. It's 6-3 put out for the first out of the inning. Katie had to go to her right and then make a long throw over to first base. Got her by a step. And that'll bring Carson Williams, the pitcher, to the plate. She grounded out to the second baseman her first time up. First pitch to Carson. Bounces up for ball one. One ball, no strikes, the count to Williams. 2-0 South Warren right now. Inside for ball two. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 out, no runners on. Missed outside for ball 3, and it's 3-0. You would think that Carson would be taken all the way. .30 pitch in there for a strike, and it's 3-1. Williams again bats from the left side, left-handed pitcher. Drew winds in the 3-1. Ground ball toward the first baseman, knocks it down, picks it up, gets to the bag, and gets her. Nice play by Danielle Coates. It's a 3 unassisted for the second out. And Caitlin LaSala, the second baseman, comes up. She struck out her first time up. One of 2 strikeouts in the ball game. First pitch to her is inside for ball 1. South Warren put up 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Nobody on here with 2 outs in the third. And in that second inning, they had the bases loaded and no outs and just got 1 out of it. There's a shot into center field for a base hit. Third hit off of Drew. Puts a runner at first base. And Madison Stumbo, the third baseman, comes to the plate. She reached on an error, scored the second run of the ball game. Two outs, runner at first base. Taking a long time to get the number in now. Used to you said it has the sign, but now you got to say it has the number. There's one that's over the head of the catcher, and the runner goes down to second. Third wild pitch. And again, the conditions have a lot to do with that, folks. They're trying to keep the balls dry and mud free, but right now it's a little bit hard to do. 1-0, missed outside for ball 2. It's 2-0. Two balls, no strikes to count. Fly ball into left field. Oh, just out of the reach of Katie Henderson. Here comes a throw, cut off. There goes a throw down to second, and she's out. Oh, safe. I thought it was. So Stumbo singles, picks up an RBI, goes to second on the throw. LaSalle scores, and it's a 3-0 ball game. I've never seen an umpire point like that to call him safe. He pointed like he was going to ring her up and then called her safe. I think he started to call her out and changed his mind. Yeah, she was safe, no question. Got the call right. Threw the radio guy off. Helderman, Alexis Helderman, the second baseman, was hit by a pitch her first time up. So runner at second base with 2 outs. That run comes with 2 outs. Wind up, pitch. Strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Helderman stands pretty close to the plate. That pitch caught the inside corner. So 3-0 now. Outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count now to Helderman. Chris Riggs always has a awfully good softball team. Here's the 1-1. It's inside for ball 2. It's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. The count as Drew comes back to the rubber, looks in, and the pitch. Missed inside and low. It's 3-1. Wind blowing in. And the 3-1. Ground ball foul. Almost got the, see, Collins is in the on-deck circle and almost got her with that foul ball. Count is now 3-2. Fourth batter with a full count in this ball game. Shot into left field. Davis there makes the catch, and a nice play of Madison Davis at the 7 spot for the third out for the Lady Spartans in the third inning. There was 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors. There was 1 left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the third with the Lady Wildcats trailing 3-0. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
All right.
2, please. Did I tell y'all when I was at Louisville, I watched when the umpires came out, I leaned over Brett and said, I know those guys. It's Jim Cooper and Mike Carby. Yeah. They're basically no better in college ball than they are in high school ball. He squeezed Catherine to death. I mean, it looked like she was hitting everything on the outside corner, and he wasn't giving it to her at all.
All right, coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we'll go to the bottom of the third. Lady Cats down by 3. Kaylee Tuck will be the hitter. Kaylee's first time up. Lady Wildcats have gone down 6 in a row. Right now, Carson Williams has faced the minimum for the Lady Wildcats. Maybe Kaylee can do something about that. First pitch to her. Ground ball, slow roller to the shortstop. She's up with it, throws over in time for the out. A 6-3 put out. And there's one gone for Danielle Coates, the first baseman. Danielle batting in the 8th spot. Williams waits, and the pitch. Missed high and away for ball 1. Carson comes back to the rubber, and the pitch. Missed inside for ball 2, and it's 2-0. 1-1-1 for the Lady Spartans, one in each inning so far. And the 2-0, swing and a miss for strike 1. But I'm telling you, in that second inning, it could have been a lot worse. Bases loaded and no outs, and the Lady Cats got out of it with only 1 scored. 2 balls, 1 strike to Danielle. Carson winds. Pitch. Strike on the outside corner, and it's 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Danielle is down swinging for the second out, and that is the 3rd strikeout for Carson Williams, and that brings to the plate Katie Henderson. Williams has faced 8. They've retired 8. Katie batting from the left side. First pitch to her is high for ball 1. Katie with a great defensive play in the last inning as she went to her right. Long throw over. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike on the inside corner, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Williams winds, and the 1-1. Slap down the third baseline. Third baseman is there. Almost beat it out, but a 5-3 put out, and the side is retired 1-2-3 once again. And the Lady Wildcats and the Lady Spartans will go to the top of the 4th inning. The Lady Spartans lead it 3-0. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
Okay, let's get up to date on some of the upcoming
All right.
games with Lady Cats. And as you know already, we have the order of battle
2, please. Sorry.
Friday night, 6, and then games on Saturday at 9, 11, and 3. Looking at the radar, it doesn't look really good right now, so keep an eye out for that. So we have a positive weekend this weekend. And then next week's schedule on Monday, it's a home game against Bowling Green. That will be pink out night. So we'd really like to get as many as possible for that. There's a home game Tuesday against Logan. And then on Friday, an away game at Barron County. Get you up to date on the Lady Cats schedule. Leading off for South Florida, Collins.
All right, coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bailey Collins leads things off. She is the number 8 hitter in the lineup. Looks at the first pitch outside for ball 1. Ground ball towards the shortstop. Up with it. Throws over in time for the out. Just because he points at it, I better quit saying that it's in time because he points it safe too. Yeah. 6-3 put out. Nice play by Katie Henderson for the first out. Katie Conley, the right fielder, comes to the plate. She popped out to the left fielder, Madison Davis, her first time up. Nobody on, 1 out for the Lady Spartans. Pitches low for ball 1, gets by the catcher. No damage, nobody on. Umpire gives her a new softball. One ball, no strikes, the count. Bunts it down the first base line. Nice play by Danielle Coates as Allie Pendleton comes over to take the throw. Conley tried to slide into first base, but to no avail, and there are 2 gone. And that takes us to the top of the order, and Alexis Isabel, the left fielder, she singled and sacrificed, has 1 RBI on the ball game. She bats with 2 outs and nobody on. Lady Wildcats need to retire her and get out of an inning with no runs scored. They're down by 3 here in the top of the 4th with 2 outs. Change up misses for ball 1. One ball, no strikes, the count as Drew delivers. It's low and away for ball 2, and it's 2-0. Wind picking up a little bit, guys, and getting a little bit cooler all the time, isn't it? That weather report is free, folks. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. In there for a strike. Looked like it maybe Isabel was taken all the way on that one. It's 2-1. JV game to follow this one. Ground ball to the third baseman, up with it. Got a long throw, makes a nice throw. And for the first time today, the Lady Spartans go 3 up, 3 down on a 5-3 put out by Lizzie Weems. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Lady Wildcats lead, trailing it 3-0. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
All right.
2, please. We may go to 1 after this, Jackson. They're getting started before we get back, and I know that we can't do anything about that, but we surely have a couple of rounds in, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We're good.
You know, after the ball game yesterday at Louisville, I called Alex to tell him what Catherine had done. They've had 3 hits in the last 14 innings, Western. 3. They had 1 yesterday, so that's 2 ball games. So they had 2 that.
All right, coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2,
Got a new pitcher.
1.
New pitcher for the Lady Spartans, and it is Shelby Nunn. A name we all know if you've been around softball for a while. New pitcher brought to you by Wendy's of Franklin. Wendy's. Stop by and get the never frozen all beef patty at Wendy's. Also the 4x4 featuring the double sandwich. And as Shelby Nunn comes in, she will face Allie Pendleton to lead things off. And Carson Williams went 3 innings. And we'll give you the book on her. Squares to bunt. Bunts a nice one out in front of the plate, and she's going to be safe. Pendleton, first hit of the ball game as Allie beats out a bunt. So a runner at first base, and first hit comes off of Shelby Nunn. There's another bunt. It's bunted high, hits the screen as Madison Davis tries the same thing, and the count is 0-1 to Madison. Corners come in now. See if Todd keeps it on. Yep, he does. Pitches outside. There's a throw back, and she's in safely. I'll tell you what, Allie made that closer than it ought to be. And nice throw from the catcher from South Warren. 0-2 the count now to Madison, so the bunt more than likely is off. Missed outside for ball one. 1-2 the count. That throw down was almost perfect. The only thing with tag was in the middle of her back, which means her hand was probably on the bag, but it was closer. 1-2. Missed outside for ball two. 2-2 the count now. Nunn winds and the 2-2 pitch to Madison. Fouled off to the right, out of play, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Madison picked up her first home run of the season a couple of games ago. Here's the 2-2. Missed outside for ball 3, and the count was 0-2. It's gone 3-2 now. And the 3-2 pitch fouled down the first base line. Davis back at the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. Shelby Nunn winds and the payoff. Ground ball towards the second baseman. Nice stop. Flips to second for the out. That was a very nice play by Caitlin LaSala. So Madison reaches on a fielder's choice as Pendleton is retired on a 4-6. And there's one gone here for Jesse Beller. Runner at first base and 1 out. Nunn winds and the pitch. Bunt squares to bunt, bunts it down the third base line. She's up with it. Throws over to first, threw it over her head. Madison's going to go to third. Jesse's going to stay put. So Jess reaches on an error, and Madison goes to third base. And that error will be on the third baseman, right, guys? Was that who threw it? McKinley Webb comes to the plate now. Runners at first and third for Webb. First error of the ball game for the Lady Spartans. First pitch. Missed outside. There goes Jesse down to second. There's a late throw down to second. And Jesse is in with a stolen base. McKinley can certainly make things interesting here. She has a 1-0 count with runners at second and third with 1 out. Swing and a miss, strike 1, and it's 1-1. I'm not sure if the catcher just couldn't get the grip on it. But Jessie was almost there before she threw it. Fouled back, and the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lady Wildcats down 3-0 here in the bottom of the 4th, trying to get something done. First time they've had base runners this inning, and it started with Allie Pendleton singing. She wasn't singing, I promise. There's a swing and a miss. Webb goes down swinging for the strikeout. That is the 2nd out of the inning. 4th strikeout for South Warren pitching, and that leaves it up to Lizzie Weems with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. First pitch to Lizzie. Strike, outside corner, 0-1. Talking to Coach Caudle, this is one of the things he is lamenting, how many runners we're leaving on base during a ball game. Lizzie waits as Nunn winds. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2, 0-2. And if you're not aware of it, Shelby Nunn, one of their better pitchers, maybe their number 1 pitcher actually. 0-2 pitch coming from Nunn. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Struck out the last 2. Lady Wildcats leave 2 on for Franklin Simpson in the 4th. No runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error. There were 2 left on base. We'll go to the top of the 5th inning. Lady Cats down 3-0. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
All right.
2, please. This is where I say shoot. Yep. Hey, Jackson,
Yes, sir.
from now on, even if I say 2, just give me 1.
Okay. All right, coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Lauren Martin, the catcher, leads things off here in the top of the 5th inning. She has reached on a fielder's choice and struck out. First pitch to her. Strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Martin. Nice little catcher is Martin. Drew has assigned the pitch. Strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2. Change up. A little confusing to Lauren. In a hole 0-2, here's the 0-2 pitch. That changeup stayed high for ball 1. 1-2 now the count. One ball, 2 strikes as Drew winds, pitches outside for ball 2. Catcher set up outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, nobody on for South Warren here in the top of the 5th inning. Shot foul now out of play along the third base side. And again, I said it before, they all hit the ball hard. I don't care if it's foul or what it is, it's hard hit. 2-2 pitch again. Ground ball toward Allie Pendleton. Picks it up, throws her out. Came within a hair of calling her Allie Meta, didn't it? Is a hush. 4-3 put out for the first out of the inning. And Lauren Martin comes to the plate. Oh, I'm sorry, I put that in the wrong spot. Actually, Madeline Darty comes to the plate. Pitch gets away from the catcher. The pitch was low for a ball. 1 out, nobody on. Kind of getting darker again. May have to turn the lights on here in a minute. Shot left field. Nice effort by Davis. It's going to be a base hit, and she's going to go into second base standing up with a double. Madison gave it a shot. 4th hit off of Drew Knight. 2nd double. Actually, it's a 5th hit. And for Carson Williams, Shelby Nunn will bat. A runner down at second base with 1 out. First pitch to Nunn. Nice block by Tuck. Kept it in front of her, kept the runner at second base. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. Drew looks in the pitch. Missed inside for ball 2. It's 2-0. Didn't miss by much. Two and 0 the count. Strike on the outside corners. 2-1. Well, you don't get here with a 16-0 record and not be pretty good, guys. And they have beaten some pretty good teams. Pitch missed low for ball 3. It's 3-1. They beat Allen County Scottsville 10-3. Beat Greenwood 4-0. Beat Henderson County and Ohio County 10-0. Beat Warren Central 15-0, which is not too surprising. Beat Bowling Green 11-0. Here's the 3-2 coming from Knight. Inside for ball 4. So runners now at first and second with 1 out. That is the second walk given up by Drew Knight. Runner for her will be Ashley White. Courtesy runner for the pitcher. And that'll bring Caitlin LaSala to the plate, the second baseman. She has struck out, singled, scored a run. She bats with 1 out. Runner at first base. Wind up and the pitch. Ground ball to the third baseman, up with it. Steps on the bag at third. LaSala will be safe at first on a fielder's choice. And Dartery will be out at third on a 5 unassisted. That is the second out. Runners now at first and second for Madison Stumbo. 2 outs. Nobody in this inning. Missed low for ball 1. South Warren scored in the first 3. The Lady Wildcats held them scoreless in the 4th. Got them scoreless right now in the 5th with 2 outs. 3-0 the score. And the 1-0. Nice block by Tuck, and it's 2-0. Kaylin Tuck behind the plate, an 8th grader. Here's the 2-0. High for ball 3, and it's 3-0. Nope, it's 2-1. I missed that strike. Glad it is, but I missed it. Now it's 3-1. Well, everybody's confused. The runner threw the bat and headed down to first base. Yeah, she 3 balls, 1 strike to count. That brought the base umpire running in for something. And the 3-1 pitch. Fly ball in foul territory. Danielle moves over and can't come up with it. But the count goes to 3-2. Need to make a pitch here, Drew. Need to get this girl right now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Drew winds, payoff, foul down the third base line. The count remains 3-2. We'll do it all again. Waiting for the pitch call. Got it. Now she comes to the rubber. Looks in. Tuck sets up on the outside corner. Fly ball on the infield. Shortstop says she'll take it and does. Nice job, Katie Henderson. And we're out of the inning with no runs scored for South Warren in the 5th. There were no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors. There were 2 left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Lady Wildcats trailing it 3-0. You're listening to WFKN Sports. 1, please.
All right. Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, it'll be Drew Knight, Kaylee Tuck, and Danielle Coates for the Lady Wildcats, unless Coach Caudle makes some sort of a change. Drew over talking to the fans. Coach Caudle tells her to get back. Oh, the pitcher's warming up. Lady Cats need some base runners here, folks. It's getting late in the ball game. Hanging right in there right now with a 16-0 South Warren team. Drew stands in to face Shelby Nunn. Winds in the first pitch tonight. Fouled back for strike 1. Lady Wildcats scheduled to play in the border battle, Greenwood border battle this weekend. Rain making all of that a little suspect if the forecast holds true. 0-1 pitch coming from Nunn. Fouled off into the screen. And it's 0-2. said we could get as much as 3 inches of rain this weekend. Time called. Yep. The 0-2 pitch fouled back into the screen, and the count remains 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Leadoff batter is Drew Knight for the Lady Wildcats. Shelby Nunn in relief. Missed high and away for ball 1, and it's 1-2. Carson Williams went 3 innings. She did not walk a batter. She did not allow a hit. She struck out 3. Pardon me. The 1-2 pitch, fly ball on the infield. Second baseman calling for it and makes the catch. So fly ball to the second baseman for the first out. That brings Kaylee Tuck to the plate. Kaylee grounded out to the shortstop her first time up. She bats 1 out and nobody on for the Lady Wildcats. Nunn winds and the pitch. Shot into right field and they throw to first. They're going to get her. That's great hustle by the right fielder. Tuck with a nice shot into right field. That is Katie Conley that made the play. It goes as a 9-3 put out for the second out. Danielle Coates comes to the plate. And Danielle will have a pinch hitter. That is Sarah Barnes. Batting for Coates. First pitch to Sarah. In there for a strike. It's 0-1. Oh and 1 the count as Nunn winds and delivers the pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes the count. Nunn with the windup and the pitch. Missed outside for ball 1, 1-2. Nice 0-2 pitch from Nunn. Lady Cats down 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Nobody on and 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch to Sarah. Missed outside for ball 2. It's 2-2. It's time to protect now, Sarah. 2-2 pitch on the way. Ground ball towards the shortstop. Up with it. Throws over in time for the out. Lady Wildcats go quietly 1-2-3 in the 5th. We'll go to the top of the 6th inning with the Lady Cats down 3-0 to the Lady Spartans. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
All right.
1, please. Is Katie a freshman? Lizzie's a freshman. Lizzie's a sophomore. So we got a freshman and a sophomore and an 8th grader. Allie is a senior. Danielle is a sophomore.
All right, coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Down 3-0 are our Lady Wildcats as we go to the top of the 6th inning. And for South Warren, it'll be Helderman, Collins, and Conley. Alexis Helderman has reached hit by a pitch, lined out to left field her first 2 times up. Helderman stands in now to face Drew Knight, who has gone the distance thus far. Wind up and pitch in there for a strike. It's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to Helderman. inside for ball one, and the count's even at 1 ball and 1 strike. I tell you, she gets pretty close to that plate. Toes are right up on that inside line. Shot into left field for a base hit. Helderman's first hit of the ball game. Hit number 6 for the Lady Spartans, and that brings Bailey Collins to the plate. Collins bats with nobody out and runner at first base. First pitch to Collins, ground ball to the shortstop. She's up, throws over to second for 1. Nice play, Lizzie Weems, as Collins will reach on a fielder's choice as Helderman is retired on a 5-4 putout for the first out. Runner at first base. Abby Mills will be a pinch hitter for Katie Conley. Mills was a courtesy runner earlier. She bats with 1 out, a runner at first base. First pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike now to Mills. 0-1 pitch. Shot left field. Davis drifts to the right, makes the catch. Nice play, Madison Davis. And they're 2 down. We'll go to the top of the order, and Alexis Isabel will be the batter. Be nice to get out of this inning with no runs. They would have runs in the first 3, and the second 3 no runs. Pitch is in there. There goes the runner down. There's the throw, and the runner in safely with a stolen base. Got a little mud in her belt. Pitch was a ball. 1 ball, no strikes the count to Isabel. Strike in there, and the count's even at 1-1. We had a little shower right before the ball game. We've gotten through the ball game without any further showers, but it does look like it could rain any minute. 1-1 pitch. Change up, falls low for ball 2, and it's 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, the count. Fly ball. Center fielder drifts in, makes the catch. Jessie Beller with the catch. Lady Wildcats get out of that one. For the Lady Spartans, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors. There was 1 left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning with our Lady Cats trailing at 3-0. You're listening to WFKN Sports. One pleaser.
All right, coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Lady Wildcats need some base runners here as Shelby Nunn returns to the circle for the Lady Spartans. For the Lady Wildcats in the bottom of the 6th inning, it will be the 9-1-2 hitters. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Lady Wildcats. Peyton Bush has come out of the dugout. Peyton will bat to lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th. As the Lady Spartans gather in the circle, and that conversation is over. The lights coming on here at Lady Wildcat Field. See if Peyton can get something started for the Lady Wildcats here. She's batting in the 9 spot. First pitch to Bush. Missed low and away for ball, or low and inside for ball 1. Would have been away if she'd been a left-handed batter. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Bush. Missed outside for ball 2, and it's 2-0. Two balls, no strikes, the count. Nunn comes back to the rubber, looks in. Peyton shows bunt, pulls it back. 3-0 the count now. So what we need is base runners, guys. .30 pitch. Strike on the inside corner is 3-1. And the 3-1 pitch. In there for a strike, it's 3-2. I thought that one might have been a little low. But I'm not saying anything, or I'll be out there in the field watching it. Yeah. Pitch misses outside for ball 4, and Bush is on with the base on balls. First walk given up by Shelby, first walk given up by Lady Spartan pitching, and we go to the top of the order with a runner at first base and nobody out, and Coach Riggs is going to go out and have a little conversation with Shelby and Allie Pendleton. The only hit of the ball game thus far for the Lady Wildcats. I don't know what that conversation was, but it sure didn't take long. Infield in, or the corners in, I should say. Squares to bunt. Bunts it foul down the first baseline. Allie actually, the hit that she got, she beat out a bunt. Oh, and 1 the count to Pendleton. The windup, the pitch. Missed outside for ball 1. Counts even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bush down at first base with a base on balls. Pendleton with a 1-1 count. Nobody out. Lady Cats down by 3. Shelby Nunn winds and delivers to Pendleton. Shot past the first baseman. Right fielder up with it. There comes the throw, and she's going to be in safely at third base. That was a nice throw, a nice hustle by the right fielder, and great job of running by Peyton Bush. She winds up at third. Pendleton has to hold at first. Allie with the second hit. The only 2 hits of the ball game go to Allie Pendleton. So runners on the corner with no out. And Madison Davis comes to the plate representing the tying run. Here's the windup and the pitch. Pitch is outside. There goes the runner down to second. There goes the throw. And Allie is safe at second base on a stolen base. So now runners at second and third for Madison Davis. Nunn looks in, winds, and the 1-0. Strike on the outside corner, evens the count at 1-1. Coach Caudle has had that conversation that all coaches have with a runner at third, be on the bag if it's a fly ball. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2, and it's 1-2. Davis digs back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Madison has to protect here. Started to go, held up, pitches low, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tying run at the plate for the Lady Wildcats. Jessie Beller waits on deck. Just missed for ball 3, and the count goes full. And the 3-2 pitch. Foul tip. I started to say, Madison, sell it if you don't do anything else, hon. Don't walk toward the dugout. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runners at second and third. A walk and a single. And none. Comes back to the rubber. The pitch. Shot. It's going to go into center field. 1 run's going to score. They're going to hold Pendleton. And Madison Davis delivers a RBI single as Peyton Bush scores. And Pendleton goes to third base, and that brings Jesse Beller to the plate. Hit number 3 for the Lady Wildcats. Coach Riggs is swallowing just a little bit harder right now. That's 16 straight wins. Beller shows bunt. Bunts it down. It's a good one, too. Throw over to first. They throw it away. Jesse's going to be safe, and a run scores. I don't know who that's on, guys. It was on the throw. Time called. Well, then it had to be on the throw. Who threw it? It is now a 3-2 ball game with runners at first and third. Madison Davis down at third, Beller at first. Bush and Pendleton are in. It's a 3-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 6th inning with no outs. I don't want to get the cart before the horse here, but how big would this be? I scored it on the throw, so I scored it on the catcher. Yes. Hobson will pinch hit for McKinley Webb. So Sydney Hobson is the designated player. There goes the throw down to second, and she's going to be out, but the run's going to score, and we're tied. Beller gets thrown out on a 2-6 for the first out, but Davis scores, and did Madison slip on the plate? Time is called as Madison Davis scores, but she is right now down. And she's going to be up. So, to lead things off, Peyton Bush walked. Pendleton then singled. Madison Davis singled. Beller reached on an error. 3 runs in this inning. We're tied at 3. Sydney Hobson is at the plate batting for McKinley Webb. Second pitch to Sydney, foul back. I'm sorry, it's first pitch to Sydney. Oh, it was the second pitch. So it's 0-2 to Hobson. And none with an 0-2 pitch. Missed outside for ball 1. 1-2 the count. Only 1 out. That's one of those deals where Carson Williams was rocking along just fine. They make a pitching change, and all at once it's a tie ball game. Ground ball towards the second baseman. She scoops it, flips it over in time for the out. Hobson is retired on a 4-3 put out for the second out, and that brings Lizzie Weems to the plate.
Number 7, Lizzie
The Lady Spartans finding themselves right now in a position they hadn't been in much this year, tied in the sixth. Swing and a miss from Lizzie for strike one. Got to monitor that, see what Madison's up to over there. 0-1 pitch to Lizzie. Ground ball, foul down the third base line. It's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes account to Lizzie Weems. 2 outs, nobody on. 3 runs in. Missed low and away for ball 1. It's 1-2. The good news was Madison did get up and walk into the dugout on her own. None with a 1-2 pitch. High for ball 2. It's 2-2. Senior Jesse Beller at the edge of the dugout encouraging the young Weems. Here's the 2-2 pitch. A swing and a miss, strike 3. Lizzie goes down swinging for the 3rd out, but not before the Lady Wildcats pick up 3 runs on 2 hits. There's 1 error. There was no one left on base. We'll go to the top of the 7th inning, tied at 3. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
All right.
Just one, please.
Come back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Lady Wildcats tied up in the bottom of the 6th inning, scoring 3 runs. Now they've got to shut down the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Lady Spartans. It will be Martin Daugherty and Shelby Nunn coming to the plate for the Lady Spartans. You might see a pinch hitter in that 3 spot in this inning. It'll be the number 4 spot in the lineup. As Lauren Martin comes to the plate, she reached on a fielder's choice, scored the first run of the ball game, struck out, grounded out to the second baseman. Calls time as she ties her shoe. I would dare say this is the first ball game this season that South Warren has gone into the 7th inning tied. First pitch to her, shot foul down the third baseline, strike 1. 0-1 the count to Martin. Katie Henderson brings the ball back in. Drew asked for a dry softball, and the umpire obliges. Oh and 1 the count. Missed outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count now to Martin. Drew comes back to the rubber, looks in, winds, a 1-1 pitch, shot to the shortstop. Can't come up with it. And Martin is aboard. And that'll bring Madeline Daugherty to the plate. Runner for her is Elizabeth Spencer down at first base. Little bitty thing. Bet she can run fast. Daugherty is doubled twice and grounded out to the shortstop. First pitch, fouled back for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, the count to Daugherty. Time called as Mr. Umpire is going to do some house cleaning, washing the plate. Tied at 3. Are we in the top of the 7th? Lead off on base for the Lady Spartans See what Coach Riggs has in mind here for her. Here's the pitch. Low for ball one. Counts even at 1 ball and 1 strike. One and one the count. Nobody out. Runner at first base. Drew Knight in the circle for the Lady Wildcats. Winds. Pitch bounces up, and it is ball 2. Nice job by Tuck to keep it in front of her. The runner stayed put. 2 and 1 the count now. And the 2-1 pitch from Knight. Sails high for ball 3. It's 3 and 1. Three balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Runner at first, top of the 7th inning, tied at 3. Strike on the outside corner, and it's 3 and 2. Three-two pitch due from Knight, due from Drew, I guess you could say, and the payoff. Shot into center field. Center fielder's coming hard, picks it up, and base hit. Runners now at first and second. Hit number 7 off of Drew for Shelby Nunn. Shelby walked her first time up, and going in to run, Caitlin Hare is the runner. Caitlin Hare was the flex player. She's the shortstop. So Nunn bats with runners at first and second and nobody out. First pitch to Nunn. Shot into right field. That's going to score 1 at least. They're waving the runner at third, and nope, they held her up. So Nunn delivers an RBI single. And Martin scores from second. Doherty goes to third, and Nunn is the runner. Do what? Yeah. Ashley White is the runner. Nunn went to second base on the throw, and that brings to the plate Kaylin LaSala. It is now a 4-3 ball game here in the top of the 7th. First pitch. Oh, that did look good. But he called it a ball. Infield is in to try to cut the run down at the plate. Still no outs. Pitch to LaSala. Strike on the outside corner. That one didn't look as good as the first one. And the count's even at 1 and 1. One ball, 1 strike to count. Nobody out. 1 run in, 2 on. Fly ball, shallow left field. It's going to drop in for a base hit, and the run's going to score. And we got so a single for LaSala and an RBI as Doherty will score from third. It is now a 5-3 ball game, and Madison Davis, when she tried to get to that ball, she's down again. Same leg, I have a feeling. We're going to take a break while they work on Madison a little bit, and we'll be back. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
All right.
Just start playing them for me, please.
Okay.
I saw what happened there. That leg just gave out when she started for the ball. The leg just gave out. Okay, Jackson, you can give it back to me.
Okay.
Number 15, Stumbo.
All right, coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sydney Hobson goes into left field to replace Madison Davis as they brought Madison off the field. We'll try to get a report on that. And at the plate is Madison Stumbo. Lady Cats now down 5-3 with a runner at first and at second with no outs. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1 the count. One ball, no strikes the count. One strike the count. Pitch is high. Now 1-1 the count. Madison hurt that leg coming to score the tying run, and then on her attempt to accelerate after that fly ball, it gave way and fouled down the third base line, and the count moves to 1-2. Certainly hope that young lady is okay. Tell you what, it brought a quiet lull to the crowd. One ball, two strikes, no outs. Drew trying to get out of this with no more damage. Runners at first and second. Ground ball towards the second baseman. She scoops it, throws over in time for the out. It is a 4-3, but the runners advance. There's now one gone. Runners at second and third for Alex Helderman, second baseman. She was hit by a pitch, lined out to left field, singled. She bats with one out, runners at second and third. 5-3 the score now. Lady Cats went into this one tied at 3. 3 hits, pitches low for ball 1. 3 hits in this one have given the Lady Spartans a 2-run lead. Helderman way up in the box. And pitches low for ball 2. It's 2-0. Two balls, no strikes the count. And they're going to walk her intentionally. Yep. That is the third walk given up by Knight. Loads the bases now. Collins with a ground ball. Here comes a run to the plate. Another run scores, and I was writing in my book and didn't get what happened there. So runners at first and second now with one out and 4 runs in. There's a little foul ball that nice hustle, but the Lady Cats can't get to. Conley at the plate for the Lady Spartans. Bunt picked up by the catcher, and she's going to be safe. It gets past the second baseman covering, and another run scores. I'm going to tell you guys, I believe that was a base hit. I believe she had that thing beat out, and then the run will score on an error. And we'll go to the top of the order. This is the 9th batter to hit in this inning. First pitch to Isabel is in there for a strike. Runners at first and second now with, second and third now with one out. 0-1 pitch. High for ball one. 1-1 the count. 8-3 now the score. Foul ball off to the right, out of play. Fly ball, that one's deep. It is gone. That is a 2-run homer for Isabel. 3-run homer for Isabel, yeah. So she cleans the bases, and that gives the Lady Spartans an 11-3 lead. Eight runs in this inning. There's a fly ball on the infield. Shortstop drifts back, makes the catch, and Lauren Martin is retired on a fly ball to the shortstop for the second out. And that brings Madeline Doherty to the plate. All of this on 5 hits in this inning. Daugherty, first pitch to her, low for ball 1. 5 hits, 2 errors, 1 walk. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Daugherty. Strike on the inside corner, and the count even at 1-1. (11-3) the score. Fly ball on the infield. First baseman moves over, makes the catch. So the Lady Wildcats are out of it, but not before the Lady Spartans pick up 8 runs on 5 hits. There were 2 errors. There was no one left on base after the 3-run homer. We'll be back. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
All right.
Let's do 2 this time, please.
Okay.
Is that what you had, Joey? 5 hits in that inning? Somewhere I got, I know, I marked one where I had an out. I marked them as scoring, and that confused the issue for me. Yes, yes.
Leading off for the Lady Cats, number 0, Drew Knight.
Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Lady Wildcats down 11-3 as Drew Knight will come to the plate. Drew popped out to the shortstop, popped out to the second baseman. She'll lead things off as Shelby Nunn stands in. First pitch to Drew, ground ball foul down the third base line. 11 hits for the Lady Wildcat, for the Lady Spartans, off of the Lady Wildcats. Swing and a miss, strike two, I'm sorry. 0-2 to Drew, leading off here in the bottom of the 7th. 0-2 pitch, outside for ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out to the leadoff here in the 7th inning. Strike 3 called. And there's one gone. That is Nunn's second strikeout. Kaylee Tuck bats. She grounded out to the right fielder. I had to look at that number twice, and then I remembered it, and grounded out to the shortstop. First pitch to her, swung on a miss for strike 1. A 1 pitch coming to Kaylee. Start to go, held up. Pitches in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Tough inning for the Lady Wildcats. They went into that top of the 7th, tied at 3, came out down by 8. Fly ball in foul territory, going to be out of play. And it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on here in the 7th. And the 0-2. Foul down the third base line, and the count remains 0-2. The guys will be at Hot Rod Stadium or the Bowling Green Ballpark on Saturday, assuming the weather holds from what they say it'll do. The 0-2 pitch fouled off again to the right, out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Nunn winds, and the 0-2 pitch once again. Swing and a miss, gets away from the catcher, and the throw down, and they still get her. Nice hustle by the South Warren catcher. Second out, and that'll bring Danielle Coates to the plate. Danielle struck out her first time up. She was pinch hit for in the 5th. Sarah Barnes grounded out to the shortstop, and Danielle back here in the 7th. Lady Cats down to their last out. And the first pitch to Danielle. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 0-1 the count. The windup and the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off out into the screen, and it's 0-2. Lady Wildcats down to their last strike now. Nunn looks in. The sign, the windup, and the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball towards the shortstop. Up with it. Throws over in time for the out. And a 6-3 put out will end the ball game as the Lady Wildcats will fall to the Lady Spartans by a final score of 11-3. We'll be back with a wrap-up after these messages. You're listening to WFKN Sports.
All right.
How many you need, buddy?
I just started a new round.
Okay. Give me like 5, and then we'll do the wrap-up, and then we'll do the rest. We'll even out your round and then get into the other stuff, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. 3 runs, 3 hits, and 3 errors. I have them 11 runs on 11 hits.